but this has what I would classify as good enough specs for today's gaming. Solid mind here, and today we're asking the question, should you buy the RedMagic 8S Pro? Who decides these naming units? 8S, Pros, Ultimate, Max. It's like they just get a dictionary and it's like, what other word can I use? Or thesaurus, there we go, thesaurus. Today the question is, should you go out there, spend your hard-earned money to go buy gaming phones? And today it's the RedMagic 8S Pro. Let's find out together.
Devices, you know, it doesn't look the same. They've really strayed away from their original design, which had those really rounded corners on it, and kind of went with the more square design. I personally really like what they've done here. They're packing a larger screen. It's coming in at 6.8 inches. We also don't have any cutout for the front camera because it's using an under-display camera.
This looks a lot like my OnePlus. Here we go. OnePlus 7T Pro. Yeah, the cameras are literally the same layout, just these protrude out a little bit. So most likely, there you go. So you guys can see what's going on. They stick out a little bit more, maybe bigger sensors. So not bad.
And as you can see, we've basically got a bezel-less design. It is an AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz, and it looks absolutely amazing. And since we're working with the RedMagic device, we do have that built-in cooling fan, which they're really known for when it comes to their gaming phones.
Let me slow this down for you.
Plus, we've got a little bit of RGB around back here, which looks really good. Now, this can be disabled from software if you don't like it, but I kind of think it sets the rear of this thing off. Now, first thing I want to mention,
I find the RGB on the back of a phone kind of gimmicky. That's just me. I said that about the Asus ROG 8 Pro. I've said that about the Ally X, the Ally. It's nice. I am a hypocrite though a little bit. Like I literally have our what's this called actually? An Acer Predator Cestus 335 mouse that is RGB, and it does look nice. So I still find it gimmicky. I don't think it's a reason for you to go buy a phone because of the RGB, but it's a nice to have, but it doesn't really like go into the factor of buying a phone.
here is, yeah, it's 2023 and we've still got a headphone jack. We've got a 3.5mm audio jack over here on this side, along with one of our speakers from their dual.
You know what? I appreciate that. There's no use for it nowadays because no one actually has wired earphones. But because it's a gaming phone, just adding that doesn't really cost that much extra. And I think it's a good idea, especially if, for example, you want to cast or share this to a display and you still want to use your earphones that are wired. This also works. So for me, it's good. It's really good.
Stereo speaker setup, and I gotta say, they've upped their game when it comes to the sound on this device. It does support DTS-X, and this thing actually puts out some bass. I was really impressed by it. On the bottom of the device, we've got our other speaker. We've also got our SIM card.
That SIM card tray looks a lot like what's found on the iPhone, and the metal design as well is very iPhone X-esque, very iPhone-esque. So it doesn't look too bad on that part.
Tray and USB Type-C.
Got it.
This does support display over USB Type-C, and there's actually a couple modes that we can mess around with.
Got it.
Over here on the right-hand side, we've got our volume rocker and our intake.
Yeah, that's actually a game changer in terms of display via USB-C. What that means is you can buy a secondhand, controller, plug this into your TV or display, and use this phone as a standalone gaming device. So not bad.
Vent for the built-in fan. So this is a 20,000 RPM fan. It's also got a little bit of RGB built into the fan itself, and this is really what RedMagic is known for. They've set this up so the new Snapdragon Gen 2 can run at its full potential, basically indefinitely, as long as that fan's going. We're not going to hit thermal throttle. We've got plenty of cooling with this unit here. And finally, over here on the right-hand side, we've got our exhaust outlet for the built-in cooling system, a power button, and you might notice we've got a little red switch here. Now, we've seen this on other RedMagic devices. Basically, this is going to bring us over to the RedMagic front end, and this is awesome for a gaming-centric phone. There's a lot.
This reminds me a lot of all the gaming handhelds that I've looked at. ROG, LIX, Legion, Steam Deck. They always have a button or a setting which can overlay on the display to access gaming units. On my OnePlus 7T Pro, I have a gaming mode where when I enter a game automatically, I get a little overlay saying, hey, you can, decide the CPU, the RAM, everything you want to do kind of thing. So this isn't new. Oh my goodness, I just realized something actually. This phone is RedMagic. Is RedMagic owned by the same company that owns OnePlus, Xiaomi, Realme? Ooh. Cause if it is, it might explain why it has similar settings to the OnePluses. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. I had a quick look, and it's not owned by Oppo, which owns OnePluses and some of the Xiaomi phones as well. So I guess it's just a few similar features, but it looks very premium though. But yeah, all these features are already available. Well, not the button isn't, but you can get an overlay very easily. But so far, so good. Let's finish this off.
And along with 16 gigabytes of RAM,
Okay, look at the specs. The RAM isn't too bad. 12 to 16 gigs of DDR5X RAM. That's not really that important. I know that recently we did look for you guys who watch me a lot. On our last video, we looked at the Asus ROG 8 Pro, which has, I think, on the max end 24 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage, which is a lot. Would you ever use that? I guess more future proofing for more powerful games. But this has what I would classify as good enough specs for today's gaming. Storage, UFS is the fastest storage right now, which is not bad. 512 is plenty. I'm not joking, it's plenty for gaming. 120, is that 2K? 2K? Yeah, 2K display. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. So it's good. It's a good handheld gaming phone based upon these specs. And if the price is reasonable, then it's worth recommending. Let's finish this off.
So when it comes to overall performance, super snappy. We've got Android 13 with RedMagic 6.0. Looking really good here. Got a little bit of a skin.
Yeah, standard Android, not looking too bad.
Everything's very fluid. Everything's very smooth here. We kind of expected it with this newer chipset. And yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of great features built in here. A screen recorder that'll do 1080p, 60 hertz. But one of my favorite things here is RedMagic time. At least that's what they used to call it. Flipping this switch here will bring us to kind of the game launcher front end. I think it looks really good.
Most likely, what's going to happen is you will go to the Play Store, download games, and then RedMagic will automatically, I guess, assign the games to this page, or you can manually assign the apps to play in here. Let's continue.
There's a couple new views, and we can actually change the background now. You can add any application. It doesn't have to be a game. Anything that you've downloaded, or
I literally just said that. Not bad.
Kind of a virtual personal assistant, and you can unlock new things and new emotes with her. I mean, it's something I'll probably never use, but some people might get some use out of this. We've also got RedMagic Studio, and this comes in really handy for people who want to use a second display or a larger display. You can go wireless with it. You can actually connect this to a Windows PC and download their app, or you could connect a hardwired
I like this so far.
USB Type-C to HDMI connection. And it does support console mode, which is something we will take a look at. But we've also got a bunch of gaming-centric plugins that we can use with games. Now, some of these only work with specific games, but a lot of the stuff will come in handy for like first-person shooters. We've also got a sound equalizer, so we can turn the bass up.
Okay, let's finish this together and make a decision. Should you buy the RedMagic 8S Pro? Let's find out together, actually. First thing I need to find out for all you viewers of Solid Mind is price point, because if it's cheap-ish, it's worth getting. Okay, so you can get this for around £800 on Amazon. I've seen some for 650. So, some for 590. So let's just say this, for around 600 to 800 pounds, you can get this. This is just over half the price of the previous phone I reviewed, the Asus phone. So should you get this phone? Maybe. So phones nowadays are around this price. This would be classified as a mid-range phone based upon the price point. So it sits around the Google Pixel side of things, not the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra or the flips and the folds. Those are a little bit more on the high end. But in terms of the specs, it has better specs than some of the flagship phones anyway. One downside is that this isn't a known brand that's like popular out there. So if you care about that, no. But as a gaming phone, it meets the requirements, I would say, much more than the Asus phone in terms of price points and the features you actually need to be able to game in a phone. So if you want a gaming phone, yes, I recommend getting this. If price is a factor, I recommend getting this. But you can get a similar experience with slightly cheaper phones. But this phone does tick a lot of boxes right now. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.